she got to go on vacation?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, she must be lucky, huh?
Yeah.
How old is she?
17. She
Oh
went to Indiana.
I have a 17-year-old daughter myself. And in October, it's going to make me a 36-year-old grandpa. Oh my goodness. Right?
Wow. We are so blessed. We're older than you are. And we're not quite there yet.
Yeah, you're 6 years old? Does that mean you're 6 years old too? You want to know why? Because you're twins.
When I ate my green beans, I grew too long. And boy didn't eat any because I hate green beans.
Oh my goodness. I love green beans. They're so delicious. Especially with like butter.
I do like butter.
Oh yeah, well if you put butter on your green beans, you might like it.
Finally. Yeah, I tasted it and it was really yummy.
Yeah. Well, who's this? Hi, little one.
And that's Piper.
Hi, Piper.
Piper's not on the couch.
I told him I was going to.
I know. We can't pet Piper if you don't get pettings too. I get it. Piper loves you. Yeah, Piper, your baby.
They always try to win me. They act like it.
Piper is the nicest. Piper is the nicest Chihuahua you're ever gonna meet.
Oh my goodness, that's a rare breed.
I know, nice Chihuahuas that don't yap.
Yeah.
She's not a yapper.
Be able to show you today is called the Avalier 2. It's the newest model that they came out with. It's been out since about 2018. Yeah. The Kirby company comes out with new models every 3 to 5 years or so. And so, the 106 years they've been in business, this is just the only way we advertise the product. So, there's no TV commercials, no magazine, no radio ads. Everything is just through good old-fashioned word of mouth. So I get taken care of by the Kirby company to just come in and show people the machine and do some cleaning. So I'm not gonna I will never go into someone's house and high pressure them to make them feel as if they have to buy a Kirby just because I'm cleaning for them. You know. So that's what they did for the Avalier 2. For the Avalier series, when they came out with the Avalier 1 in 2014, that was to celebrate the 100-year anniversary. And what they did was they revamped the shampoo system to where now it's a multi-surface shampoo system. So not only does it do carpet cleaning, but it has a different brush you can put into the head, and it comes with different solutions for the hard floor to where it can sweep.
Let him go with them.
Mickey Mouse.
Go. Put your phone down and go.
No.
I'm going to give us Mickey Mouse.
It's
Go
fun to meet you
downstairs.
guys. Maybe when I'm all done, if you guys let me finish up quick, I can blow you up some balloons and bubbles.
You better hurry.
So Kirby's help with babysitting.
That was kind of cool.
My job is, the cleaning on the floor is going to get done regardless, okay? But before I get started on the floor, I'm just going to do a quick little rundown of what a Kirby really is. Because even though people may have seen a Kirby before, and then maybe, like you said, it was 10 years ago since the last time you saw one, so they probably come out with about a few different models since then.
Right.
So this is the newest model. I truly believe that they can see as many Kirby presentations as they want, but no one really knows what a Kirby really is until I show them. Okay. So my job is just to do a quick rundown on what a Kirby really is, so that way you can understand why we do it the way that we do.
Okay.
But the Kirby here is pretty much, whenever someone thinks of the word Kirby, the next word they think is vacuum. And then the next word after that is expensive.
Right.
And so, but this is actually a Kirby. A Kirby is a modular-based power plant where everything else here that comes with it is just an attachment. But altogether, a Kirby is a 12-in-1 unit with around 114 different household uses. Only 2 of them are for carpet, just vacuuming and shampooing.
So I have a question for you.
Yes.
If you have all the old Kirby's, will the new attachments hook to the old ones?
Yeah.
Or do you have to?
No, it's the same kind of design concept. So you can take the new attachments and hook them up to the old Kirby, but it'd be better to take the old attachments and hook them up to the new motor, because what they did for this particular model was they hollowed out the power plant here. so they could fit as big of a motor that they could put in it. So now it's going to give us the maximum amount of airflow and suction.
Oh, it's got more power.
Right, and then they hollowed out the motor so it doesn't add too much weight to it as well, which is why they're only about 18 to 21 pounds, which is the lightest Kirby we've ever had. And then they've also beefed up the transmission for this model, so it's practically weightless to use. It's even a lot smoother than the Avalier 1.
Okay.
So, so Kirby's may still be the heaviest to have to pick up, but when we're cleaning our floors, we're not carrying the Kirby in the air when we clean our floors, right?
Right.
Fortunately for us, right? But if ever it does have to, like I did notice you have an upstairs and downstairs, there is an easy way to, there's 2 different handles that come with the machine. There's the portable handle here. So you can set it up to be a heavy-duty handheld portable vacuum. Do you have carpeted staircase or is it?
Nope.
So, I mean, if you want, you could carry it down the stairs like this. Or even if with just the hose connected, since you don't really have carpet. Like, for instance, I have a carpeted apartment, but I only set up the Kirby as a vacuum cleaner to vacuum my carpet maybe twice a month. Because that's how efficient of a job it does as a vacuum cleaner. Where I don't have to do it on a constant basis like most people do with the store-bought vacuums. Mainly because store-bought vacuums are designed to do the opposite of what we're paying for them to do anyways.
So what do you mean by that? What are they designed to do that's different?
So they're
than...
actually designed to be surface sweepers, not vacuum cleaners. And the reason why
Okay.
is because as a vacuum cleaner, the Kirby company owns the patents to the design that makes a vacuum cleaner, because there's 3 things through science that a vacuum cleaner needs. The first thing is a tremendous airflow.
Okay.
Which is why our hole for suction is connected right here on the is at the top of the head, which connects straight to the motor. So it allows the air to travel from the motor straight to the ground in a downward bell-shaped motion throughout the whole 15 inches of the head, so we can get a tremendous airflow out of it. And then the second thing is a complete seal, because that's the definition of the word vacuum in the dictionary, right? Is to have a complete seal.
Okay.
So the way you create a seal is to have that tremendous airflow and to have a proper height adjustment. So that's why we have the 7-level height adjustment here on the side, because there are 7 different levels of carpet, and so we have to be able to bring it down accordingly to that carpet to create that seal. And then the third thing it needs is a gentle vibration. Now everything else on the market, they have brush rolls on the bottom, which are designed in spiral patterns, and the bristles are really rough and scratchy. So that's why the canister of a vacuum cleaner only usually fills up with what looks like to be fuzzy dirt. But because there's no such thing as fuzzy dirt, what's really filling up in there is just the carpet fiber that it's yanking out. Now the real dirt that it's supposed to be picking up has 17 to 21 different cutting edges. But when something's in a spiral pattern, it creates a sweeping motion. And if you take solid dirt and put it on a carpet and you sweep it, where does the dirt go?
Down into the carpet.
Down into the carpet. So that's what everything else is really doing. The dirt that's causing the real damage to the home and to our health is being swept into the floor, but also being turned into dust particles that gets thrown into the air every time we go to clean.
And it's out on that carpet.
Right. And so dust particles takes about 48 hours to finally settle down onto something. So as we're trying to clean the dirt out of the floor, we're actually just grinding it up and putting it into the air for us to have to breathe for the next couple of days, right? So that's why we have a beater bar where our brushes are in an oscillating pattern, and they're not as rough as scratchy. So instead of doing that scratching, agitation, pull out technique, what we're doing is, as we bring the height down, the carpet will lift up to the head, allowing the airflow to start traveling underneath into the padded area, so the brush can hit it up to be sucked out right away.
Okay.
So those are the 3 components that make a vacuum cleaner: tremendous airflow, complete seal, and a gentle vibration. Okay? If it has all three of those things, then yes, it's a vacuum cleaner. If it's missing one of those three things, then it's just not going to be able to be a vacuum cleaner at all. Okay. Now the Kirby company owns the patents for that design, which makes a vacuum cleaner, so which is why everything else out there on the market are only able to be designed as surface sweepers, which is what the original vacuum cleaner was actually designed to be by the Bissell company before the first Kirby came out.
Okay.
So James Kirby purchased a Bissell to study the design on it, because he was already making household appliances and inventing a bunch of things that we use around the house today. And so when the Bissell company came out with a vacuum cleaner, he did a study on the design, came to the realization that it was a surface sweeper, not a vacuum cleaner. So him and a buddy started a different cleaning system, which came out in 1908. You might have heard of it, called the Rainbow,
Yes.
right? Now Rainbow.
Yes, you have. That's that vacuum.
The
that
water
Lucy has.
filtration guy, right? And the long hose, it's a canister style vacuum, so it's got the long hose. Same concept as and the vacuum head at the end of the hose is no differently designed than the Bissell surface sweeper. So that was one of the flaws that James Kirby saw with the Rainbow. And then the second thing is that they're based off of water filtration, but scientifically water is not able to filter the air, it enhances it. For example, when we give our kids a bath, and they decide to let one sneak out, right? And the bubble will come up, it will pop, and it smells way worse than a regular one. But like next time, go outside to do that, right? So that's why. So water is actually enhancing the air; it doesn't filter it, which is why they sell it with the scented oils to put into the water to give the illusion of water filtration, because we're smelling something nice. But when people run out of the oils and they put it in there, all they're smelling is a bunch of mold and mildew, which is what's causing the floor from the natural forms of cleaning that we're used to doing. Okay.
Okay.
And so when it picks that stuff up, it throws that into the water and it pushes that into the air, so that's what we smell. Okay. Now there's a paper filter in the back by the exhaust on the Rainbow, and that's what fills up with the real dust. And then the exhaust kind of just blows that dust into the air, so it's still not really filtering the air for us. So those are the two major flaws that James Kirby saw with the Rainbow. So he sold the rights to the Rainbow to the friend that he was working on it with. And the first Kirby didn't come out until 1914.
Okay.
And then he put a patent on the designs, and it was the one thing that he invented that he was the most proud of, because it was the most efficient thing he designed. So that's why it's the one thing that's got his name on it.
Okay.
Now, some of the other inventions that we use every day is like the iron and the ironing board.
Patents I thought ran out after 20 years.
Every 7 years. So that's why.
Well, you get a certain amount and then you get one extension. It comes to like 18, 20 years.
So that's why we have lawyers in place. So whenever the warranty, or not the warranty, the patents start to.
You can only renew them once.
Yes, exactly.
Well, then that's what he's saying. He has to change. That's
So
why
that's
they
why
change
they
it.
changed the machine up, so they can renew the patents on it. So that's why every 3 to 5 years they come out with new models, and every model has to be better than the one before it. So whenever they come out with new models, they usually come out with a new model when it's time to renew the patents. So that's probably, so to answer that question, yeah, they're probably only good for 20 years at a time. So every 20 years, they make sure they come out with at least a new model so they can renew the patents on the design. But it's the patent on this design is what makes the difference. While everything else, because we own the rights to that design, can only again be designed to be a surface sweeper, which will at the end of the day end up doing the opposite of what we're paying for them to do. Okay. And being that they're also designed to break down to where we're constantly having to rebuy them on a more consistent basis, and no matter how much we use them to clean with, we're still having to replace the things in our home due to the dirt damage. So in the long run, we're still paying the money to have a Kirby in the house. We're just not reaping the benefits of actually owning the machine. Because when we own a Kirby, we then own a complete home care system that's not just going to, of course, be able to clean everything inside the house, but it's going to protect the thing that makes a house a home, which is the people inside of it, because there's a lot of health benefits that come with the Kirby, such as it's a clinically approved air purifier. and it's the only machine in the world that can deep clean a mattress. Okay. So there's a lot of different reasons why people invest in the machine. We're made in America. We're the only cleaning system in the world that has this stamp on our box. Okay. We have 2 factories, one in Cleveland, Ohio, where our main headquarters is, and that's where everything with Kirby started. And then we also have a factory in Andrews, Texas. Kirby's are sold in 88 different countries, though. But whenever someone purchases a Kirby, it comes back into America's economy. Pretty nice, right? And then, again, we use the HEPA filtration system. The Kirby's are for the people who appreciate quality, reliability, and performance. And because we use quality materials when we build the Kirby and the way that they're designed, we also get durability with them, because Kirby's can last up to 30 to 40 years minimally with very little to practically no maintenance done to them.
My grandmother's had hers my entire life. I'm 43.
There you go. And so sometimes when people take care of them, they even last longer. And then on top of that, now the Kirby company's bread and butter is the warranty program that comes with the machine at no matter what price they end up getting one for, which will cover Kirby for a lifetime. Whoever's name is on the warranty, will be covered for their lifetime. So whoever owns the machine literally never has to worry about buying another piece of cleaning equipment, not just vacuum cleaner, but cleaning equipment for as long as they live. And then it can also be passed down throughout the generations, so like for instance, the Kirby I have at my house, I have a plan that every 10 years I'm going to pay the $175 to have that will cover the shipping and handling to and from the factory, where they're going to take it all apart, clean it all out, change out any of the components that need to be changed, build it back together, buff and polish it out. When they send it back, it's going to work and look as brand new as it did from the very first time it was built. Now, if 30, 40 years down the road I send the Kirby in and it's an outdated model and they're not building Kirbys that way anymore, then they'll call me to let me know, say, hey, we know you paid your $175 already, but we're not going to be able to refurbish your Kirby because it's an outdated model, so we're just going to send you a brand new one with all the bells and whistles.
Nice.
And then at that point, my kids will probably have some children, right? That will be old enough to put on the, so as long as they're at least 18 years old, their name can go on the warranty, right? And so that Kirby will be good for that person's lifetime. So God forbid the day comes where I'm no longer with them, whoever's name I decided to put on the warranty can then inherit the machine for their family with the warranties fully intact for as long as they live. And then it can just keep being passed on that way. And then if it's ever lost in a flood or fire, then, save the kids, save the pets, save things around the house that have a sentimental value that can't be replaced. But by no means do we want you to jump on the Kirby. You're like, no, not the Kirby. Okay. Let the Kirby go. If there's any attachments that are left behind, you just turn those in to the factory. They'll charge you the $175 and they'll just send you whatever model's on the line at the time. Okay. So, like I said, whenever someone purchases a Kirby, they're investing in something that's going to protect the home and our health. And then we'll never have to worry about buying another piece of cleaning equipment for as long as we live. Because we would, like for instance, I would much rather pay $175 every 10 years in my book, in my case, than have to pay $300 to $500 every 3 to 5 years on 5 or 6 separate machines, right? So it makes a lot more sense to where the Kirby not only pays for itself, but the longer we have it, the more we use it with everything that comes with it, the more it pays us to own it.
Okay.
Pretty nice, right? So, build them up, just do the floor cleaning. And if there's any other functions that you would like to see me clean with, then just let me know here. The only thing is, it has 114 household uses, and there's not enough time in a day for me to show you all 114 things. And even if I did, when it came down to using that attachment, you probably would still forget how to do it by the time it comes down to using it, right?
Right.
So now there's an app for Kirby owners that you can download to your phone. It has all the how-to videos on how to do use.
Everybody's got an app now.
Exactly, right. And then, but also, it's a lot of people have been having problems with trying to get supplies when they run out with their Kirby. So now you can just order your supplies through the app, and it will come straight to your house. It has the owner's manual, so in case people lose the book that comes with it, it's right there on their phone. And if you have someone that has an older Kirby and they don't know how to use it, it has the owner's manual for every Kirby, all the way down to the Model 2C. Yeah.
How long ago was that?
Like almost 100 years ago.
It's one of the first.
Yeah. So it's probably like in the second series. Now if you flip it over, you'll see the price tag of the Kirby. Don't shoot me. I didn't make it. I just have to advertise it. So like I said, Kirby's are expensive machines, but the Kirby company would much rather apologize for the high price in the beginning than have to apologize to the much higher cost at the very end. Because